Eve paints.
Hey folks, welcome to another 3D printing Patreon preview. I have 118 campaigns to share with you today. Quick content warning, some of these campaigns contain pinup style models. I've left a link in the description to a video discussing why that needs content warning. That said, let's get started. First up, Iconic Minis has a free Pit Fiend Devil for you. Stormcrow continues their Magic the Gathering sculpts with the Lovecraftian Horrors of Eldrazi, as well as a Mothman. Here are some work-in-progress shots of what Tentacle Art has been working on. This is a work-in-progress Dragonborn Rogue from The Owl. This is The Butcher from Stand Art Painting. Realm of Paths has a Nun Slasher and a couple pink monstrosities coming in November. Channel patron Sculptor's Cave is working on new poses for their Sanddweller's Queen, Caregiver, and Miner. Zorinthia, the Noble Mage, is the November release from Miniatures Blueprint. The spookiness continues with The Tormented Ones from 3D Print Cleric. This Gangsta Bounty Hunter is an extra model from Niverdale Tabletop this month. La Louve 3D has been working extra hard on this beautiful dragon, as well as the Kirin, Oni, and Warrior. Ratman Forge has created their first Obliterator model. From Blue Wyvern, here are Naga Swordsman and Spearman, as well as a Naruga Soldier and a Direbat. This is The Captain's Guard by Realm Gate Studio. This is the flagship of a race of gene sorcerers known as the Forerunners by Ivan. Away Team Red has beamed in from channel patron Lost Heresy. Unfortunately, they've landed in a nest of triblights. They're cute. Maybe we should bring one back to study it. This is Old Il Nam by 3DS of San, a free download. Here is an Elf Librarian and a Dwarf Armorer by Your Neighbor Knight Minis. The Nephilim and the Voidsworn are the October release from Dark Galaxy, and the Emissaries are coming soon. Here are the latest minis from Labyrinth Models. Daddy Dungeon and Intorni has added a tower to their Dam District project. This Anka cat is the latest model from Rubim, expected out in November. Here's a closer look at the Skellies Clay Demon Miniatures is working on. Here's a couple more horror movie chibis from Celia Miniatures. This is a World War II Italian armored car from Panzer Printer. August McDaniel has some nice scatter terrain this month. This is one of the models you can get from Doses 3D in November. Here is The Lord, the last of the Doom Troopers from The Portal of Morrow. In honor of their wedding, Claudio Cassini Art have shared these free Chibi, Vision, and Scarlet Witch models. Congratulations! Mecha Miniatures has peg legs and bionics for your orcs, as well as other options with a little more vroom. Here is a Were-Wolverine from Labradorite Wolf. Black Crag Miniatures has a squad of greenskins coming in November. Dragon's Lake Miniatures has a Dwarven Clan command group and a squad of warriors. The Horde of Torishima are Japanese-themed orcs from Red Clay Collectibles. Here's the leader of the Goatmen that Magori Miniatures has been working on. The Lalalian Industrial Complex has previews up for their mechs coming in November. Big news from Max and Raw, it's now free. All of it, from now on. Go get you a tank, and while you're at it, give them your support. They deserve it. The Hammerhead mechs from Extra Guy are getting a nice arsenal of weaponry. These are the Adventurers from RG Sculpt's upcoming Legend of Giants set. These Tech Tribe Orks from Valkyrie's Playground still need a clan name. Head on over and give them a suggestion. Red Nebular has some little gnomes with swords and Forest Orc Beast Riders. Here are the last of the Authority models from channel patron Blue Art Miniatures, as well as a look at what's to come in November. Here is Survivor Pack 12 and Zombie Pack 14 from Vault Z. Nova Minis is working on a set of Skeleton Warriors for November, as well as a Red Dragon. Naga Minis has a Hippo Artificer this week, as well as a Catfolk Bard. Coming next month from Matic Historical Miniatures, Highlanders and British American Infantry. Peculiar Companions has been working on 10 and 15mm humans with 15th century Spanish aesthetics. Fictin Fu is working on a Cephalopod submersible. Orc King has Plague Warriors and a Rotten Lizard transport for them, as well as the Unclean God and his putrid minions. 2 Gargoyle Studio has Scatter Terrain this week, Sandbags and Craters. Studio DR has 6 Jetpack Neo Crusaders for their October release. Here's a Thief from the Northlands from Legend Builds. Legion Miniatures has 4 superheroes for the month of November. Village's Hope Miniatures has added a medicine house and other scenery to their Wuzia set. Role-Playing Miniatures is working on treasure chambers for November, and guardians to protect them. These tables are just a small part of Tiny Furniture Digital's November release. These work-in-progress Wasteland Elves are from Gloomy Kid Minis. This is Ileana, a vampire bust by Bella Noct Miniatures. These two little robot fighters are from Imitation of Life Miniatures. Here are two work-in-progress shots from Galad Miniatures' November release. Here are more previews from Battle Yak Miniatures' Sentinels Part 2 set. The Bone Vulture Prime by Drunk Magos Seller is finished and has been released. Imperatum Art has some Angry Birds and a Master Gladiator this month. Fleshcraft Studio has The Ironbound, Curse of the Iron, with modular multi-part revenants, an Archlich, and more. Here is a work-in-progress third model for the month from Hell Creator. Here are more US Marine Corps survivors from Turn-Based Miniatures. This is Irma, fan art from an independent comic by Capsule Chibi. Tiger Skull RPG is working on Executioners this month. These two work-in-progress shots are from Goonmaster Games' Sky Elves project. Here are some free movement trays from Wake's Emporium. This old bird is an Avian Mystic by Clay Beast Creations. From Big Mr. Tong, here is an Undead Skeleton Beastman and the Lone Wanderer. Sacris Mundus have a whole set of Sci-Fi Orc terrain this month. The November set from Flesh of Gods Miniatures is titled Transmutation of Reality, with heroes, monsters, scenery, and busts. Here is a sneak peek at some Merchant Guards by Devale Games for November. Here's a work-in-progress Goblin Sorceress from Manuel Boria. New models from Schlossbauer include a Goat Spawn, Zombie Toad, Zombie Baboon, a Fat Zombie, and more. Knucklebones Miniatures has a new wizard named Erasmus and a look at their work-in-progress walking tank. The newest Team Forzoon Talus from Dice Heads is Minotaur Madness, with a Minotaur, a Skeleton, a Lord, and a Goliath. Bright Minis has a multi-part tomb with Occupant, and a couple Nosferatu, and a Witch Hunter. Starly Factory has two sets of ancient ruins this month, one large destroyed buildings, the other smaller scatter terrain. Here are additional minis in Caballero Miniatures Palaio and Asturian sets, but apparently still not all of them. Here is a sneak peek at the November troops from Black Remnant. Rebel Space Force Marines, and a squad of assassin droids. Here's an Elf Ranger, Human Wizard, Goblin Alchemist, Tabaxi Nobleman, and more by Twin Goddess Miniatures. 3DXM has a Zombie Captain America ready to download, as well as a look at models coming in November. Highcraft Miniatures has Rally Bros, Dwarves on Trolley Cars, and 4 more Goblins from the Stag Clan. Vevictus Miniatures has a preview up for a Rabbitfolk Fighter this week. Here are previews of Mounted Whites and Cobra armor from Monstrous Encounters. Dark Realms has new buildings from Drakenhall with an inn, mill, bakery, and more. Puppets War Miniatures has 2 armies this month with Sci-Fi Orks and Creepy Clawed Bugs. This is the Guardian Angel of Earth from Rocket Pig Games. Alpha Norsk is a research base on an alien world investigating ancient artifacts by Print Minis. Here's a few fun little Halloween Hanzaki from Cobra Mode. Skullforge Studio has a special model this week, Snoop Dogg in Mando armor. Here are 2 more minis for October from Great Grimoire, the Bloodseeker, and the Whirlwind Shadow. Asgard Rising has more modular medieval cavalry this month, as well as command groups, mounted and on foot. Comet Lord Miniatures has an ancient gemstone dragon, a fallen paladin, a hellfire wyvern, and a crystal-encrusted bulette this month. The Plague Carnival is the latest fantasy football team from Punga Miniatures. This is the Headless Horseman of Hades, Atlan Forge's 4th October release. Here's a look at Miyakei's Hopeless Cavern set, as well as her Japanese-themed collection. The Predator is coming for you this November from Prey Collection Studio. Here is the final preview of Ash from Ritual Casting, with all the different options for head, weapon, and more. Fotis Mint has a couple Halloween busts for you, with the Headless Horseman and a Scarecrow. Here is a sneak peek at Unit 9's November release. STL Miniatures has an Abbey Monk set with 7 occupants for November. Forest Dragon is adding heavy cavalry and a mounted lord to their small-scale Despoilers army. RNS Studios' November release is all the combatants needed to hold your own Soul Fighters tournament. Here are 2 Minotaur Lords, legendary heroes from Avatars of War. Bite the Bullet has images up for Moira the Sentinel, their October pinup, and Eve, the Night Elf Rogue, their bust for October. Here are the full previews for Papsickel's October Sci-Fi and Cyberpunk releases. For some reason, my algorithm skipped them a couple weeks back, which is super embarrassing because they're a channel patron. But October is not over yet, and you can still get their Aliens vs. Humans 4 or the Bakunawas, Dragonborn from Space. Highlands Miniatures has some Vampire Neophytes, as well as an Arcane Cannon and Rocket Launcher. Fiends of the Undercity from Broken Anvil Monthly include 57 models of various different races and classes, as well as some scatter terrain to go with. The Harbingers of Cataclysm from Mini Monster Mayhem includes a whole bunch of scavengers, archfiend prophets, harvesters of the damned, and more. New minis from Epic Miniatures' Sands of Destiny set include male and females of a race of Sphinx folk, blue draconic demons, a shrine to Anubis with priestesses and avatars, Lamia, werejackals, a dune watcher, and spiky lizards. Lord of the Print has another teaser up for their upcoming Leafwalkers release. One Page Rules has previews up for November, with new content coming from their Mummified Undead and Robot Legions, as well as more spaceships. MZ4250 has a whole bunch of patron requests this week, as well as a few spooky models, and a few more animals from Appendix A. And finally, from Artisan Guild this month, the Man-Eater Nagarots are a race of snake folk, some with legs, some with snake tails, and others just plain old giant snakes. That's all for now. I'd like to give a huge thanks to all my patrons on Patreon. Your support really means a lot to me. Check back Tuesday for another Print and Paint Kickstarter countdown. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and thanks for watching.